This is Tales Doll My Story. Link to it in the description if you want to try reading it without laughing too. After I got home from work, I thought I'd buy a game for my son. He was into the Mario, Sonic and Donkey Kong type stuff. So I got him a game I don't think he's ever played. It was Sonic R. It was a racing game, as I heard, and at the time was pretty new. I raced home to give the game and kissed my wife on the cheek. I held her and she was happy for me giving him a present. The excitement filled his eyes and I could tell he wanted to play it. He went back to his room and I was right behind him to play it with him. A couple of days passed and he told me he was almost done with the game. I watched him beat the last boss and he roared in excitement he beat it. I felt good for him, patted his head and asked how was it. The peculiar thing was, as I did so, I looked at the credit screen and pointed and said, "What's that?" He said it was the Tails doll. I asked what the Tails doll was. He just said it was the Tails doll again. I obviously face-palmed and ignored the scenery. I called for him to get into bed, and as he was sleeping, the curiosity got the best of me. I went into his room, very quietly turned down the volume on the TV, and was ready to play some Sonic R. Knowing he already beat the game, I decided to play it again through watching him from earlier. I noticed you could play as Tails doll. Knowing that was the main reason I wanted to play the game, I chose him to tag up with some of the gang. It was pretty fun actually, until I tagged him up with Sonic. Right when I hit that button, my whole life changed. My life was in the palm of its hand. It was all calm at first, I must say. The screen shut off along with the game system. I let things be and went to bed with my wife. She grasped onto me as I did to her, falling in deep sleep. At around 2 a.m, not a particularly deep sleep then, I started hearing thumps on my door. Keeping it shut and knowing my son could get the game himself, I said, "Stop, go back to bed." The thumping kept happening. I got very annoyed and noticed as I got up there was a little shadow coming from under my door. Nothing at all compared to a regular human-sized shadow. I kind of started freaking out. The word Tails kept popping up in my mind. I started to slowly open the door and heard these very faint words I will never forget again.
We've gone for the diagram.
"You are coming with me forever." It was a doll. An evil, blood-covered, possessed little doll. It was from the game. It had to be. It looked just like it. I screamed, waking the whole house, as it started clawing my toes. Blood was all over the floor. And to this day, my feet ache and are sore. It was growling very aggressively. And as my screaming got louder, my wife called the police. It scattered across the floor, running from me. Its screech was awful. It left a trail of blood behind it. It said it has what it needs, knowing it can't finish its job tonight. Ever since that day, I'm afraid to go to sleep at night. My sleeping patterns are scattered apart. I go to sleep at around 6 a.m. and wake up around 8 p.m. to start my day. I know this may sound fake, but it isn't. I swear to this very day, I am shocked to even think about falling asleep at night time. Sweet, merciful Christ.
What the hell?
Everyone always dies at that same point.
It's just... Alright, thoughts? Anybody?
It's so fucking stupid.
No words. Should have sent a poet.